another reason why I think this is such a fly project. Fight Night feels like it could be, and I mean this as a compliment. I feel like this could be like loosely inspired by or loosely influenced by Harlem Nights. And bear with me, I know Harlem Nights is a classic, and I'm not speaking. I hope I don't come off like I'm speaking blasphemous, but it's like, you know, just the idea of getting all these top actors to act in the same project together, I think is so amazing. And this is also a Will Packard produced project as well. Hey, what's going on, folks? Another episode of Ryan Reviews Everything, and we are talking about the latest series on Peacock, Fight Night. Fight Night is a dope series. This is already becoming one of my favorite series that I look forward to. And let's just get into it. Before we get into the plot, let me just read you some of the names that are in this series. I know I'm going to slip on that a lot. You got Don Cheadle, Samuel Jackson, Kevin Hart, Terrence Howard, Taraji P. Henson. And you have like other, notable actors, from like a younger generation. You have Chloe Bailey is in this thing. Melvin Gregg, Lori Harvey, which I didn't even know she had an acting bag. Only thing I knew about Lori Harvey before the series came out was that she was a lot of male celebrities, crush. From Meek Mill rapping about her, to Michael B. Jordan wifing her up, to Damson Idris. You know what I'm saying? You know Lori's resume in that sense. Her dating resume has been pretty public. So you have all these people in here. And on top of that, we have the plot is very interesting as well. This is allegedly based on true events that happened in Atlanta. So our main character is Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart goes by the nickname Chicken Man. I don't even think they say what his real name is. Excuse me. So Kevin Hart, he plays a small-time hustler in Atlanta. This thing takes place in Atlanta. Small-time hustler in Atlanta. He ends up talking to, rubbing elbows with the right people, and he smooth talks his way into hosting one of the biggest after parties, one of the biggest after parties / house parties in Atlanta, since everyone is coming to Atlanta to watch the comeback fight from Muhammad Ali. So in addition to Kevin Hart being tasked with throwing the biggest party, to add more pressure on him, like all of these, big bad, gangsters from the entire country, is invited to pull up. And of course, if Kevin Hart can impress and show these gangsters a good time, he could get the hookup he was looking for in terms of his hustling days, and it could very, very, very well benefit him financially, clearly. So, and that's where like some of the other actors come in. Terrence Howard and Samuel Jackson, they play the biggest gangsters hailing from New York and New Jersey. Clifton Powell is also in here. I think his location is he plays like one of the biggest gangsters is from like Kansas City. You just got a good 5-6 gangsters who need to be shown a good time at this after party. So if this after party goes right, this could really set Kevin Hart up for life, in a good way. Unbeknownst to Kevin Hart and the people who are attending this house party, some wild, crazy crew decides to rob the party. So I'm talking about showing up there with guns, give me your jewelry, your wallets, all that. Like they decide to rob some of the biggest gangsters. Well, some of the people unknowingly went into this party, not being aware that some of the biggest, most dangerous gangsters are in here. So that's kind of where the plot thickens. So that's what it's about. The first 3 episodes really kind of sum that up pretty perfectly, what I just spoke about. And pretty much now that this robbery has taken place, now we have Samuel Jackson and the rest of the gangsters out here are going to be looking for revenge. So I'm assuming the rest of the series is going to be about some revenge time when it comes to Samuel Jackson and so forth. They need to get their get back. And that's one thing I will say about this. just a side note. Samuel Jackson has quite the extensive, successful career. But I swear, there's something about when he plays a gangster role. I think that's my favorite role for Samuel Jackson to play. And of course, he's far from being typecast if you look at all the many roles he's played. But there's something about the way he carries himself, just that confidence, that swag, aura, whatever you want to say. There's something about the way Samuel Jackson carries himself that is just so fly. I think he has to be well into his 70s, but he still carries himself as one of the coolest dudes in the room, and that clearly shows throughout this series. And another thing also, this crazy crew who decides to rob this house party. One thing I do love about any movie or any show, I love whenever they can just take a few moments to show how they came up with whatever crew to get a job done. So this was no different. His name escapes me, but my guy from A White Man Can't Jump, the sequel, he's running around trying to pick up other folks to get this job done. He hits up Melvin Gregg to be the wheelman. He hits up another guy to be the pickpocket. He hits up Chloe Bailey to play the eye candy that could be a distraction to certain people. And then you got a couple other guys who were just, ruthless killers that are in this crew. So I just love whenever any type of show or any type of movie takes that moment to be like, hey man, I'm just making it up. If we need someone who knows about explosive, you got to get such and such. That's the best in the business. And then you see them go and try to give their whole recruit pitch. And then, you know what? We need a wheelman. And then you go over there, you get the point. I always feel like that's so cool. You take a few moments just to show how the crew came together. But nah, man. And I'll just leave it with this. My parting thoughts is another reason why I think this is such a fly project. Fight Night feels like it could be, and I mean this as a compliment. I feel like this could be loosely inspired by or loosely influenced by Harlem Nights. And bear with me, I know Harlem Nights is a classic, and I'm not speaking, I hope I don't come off like I'm speaking blasphemous, but it's just the idea of getting all these top actors to act in the same project together, I think is so amazing. And this is also a Will Packard produced project as well. So anyway, just to get all these A-list actors and up-and-coming successful actors just to be in the same project together, I think it's dope. It's even if you're not famous, it takes a lot just to schedule your average Joe on the same page with people. So to have all these people to come together, I think is great. And when you think about Harlem Nights, it's that was just a list of who's who, from Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall, Red Fox, Della Reese, and the list just goes on of just all types of, famous people in that one. And I have that same feel for this. I get that same type of excitement when I just see when I see Taraji P. Henson and Kevin Hart in the scene. And then 5 minutes later, you got Terrence Howard and Samuel Jackson being the coolest gangsters in the room. And then another scene, you got, Lori Harvey flirting with somebody. It's just a lot of top line acting going on. You got Don Cheadle and his character is rubbing elbows with Muhammad Ali. Just different stuff like that, man. It's just a fly thing to watch, and highly recommend you check it out. This is more so a review of the first 3 episodes. I will do I guess you could say a recap on when the next episode drops. I'll leave it right there. I'm gonna leave it at that. Love it or hate it, that's my opinion. Peace.